Hello, I'm Bryan, the captain of Papirasium Team. My team members are Sergio and Manuel. We would like to talk about a new ink that could be healthier and it's even healthier for the environment, and we will support us to be not as bad with our environment. First, we're gonna know the problem. The problems are mainly in the industrial inks. The industrial inks are has toxic components inside of them, like heavy toxic metals, phosphatum, petroleum products. Those products are what makes an industrial ink toxic for the environment because those components are what principally hits the floor environments and the aquatic environments around the whole world. An industrial ink it's made of 65% of detergents, 50% of pigments, and 20% of solvents. Inside of those components, it's where there are the toxic metals that we already mentioned and the bad products that make the industrial ink toxic, how I said.
So, what is the principal objective when we find? The principal objective is to design a ink that doesn't harm to environment damage, to ecosystems furthermore, and avoid industrial carbon emissions process, replacing them with artisanal manufacturing, more healthy for the environment of the floor, and as well replacing the main toxicity components for the healthier change 100% natural materials. So the industrial inks begins and Gutenberg transition from the water to oil and to enable printing on metal, chemistry to define artisanal to synthetic to fuel rapid mass more production and sustainability to shift from the toxic to ecological to reduce environment and impact. So the next is the inks story. So where begins the inks? The inks begins in the Chinese and Egypt. They're emergent simultaneous and major centers. Chinese they mix the pine with pine soot with the animal glue, and it could to that they combined charcoal with glue. So the original basic Campu historical any ink required the next complement or the next components. So the next is pigment and blender and solvent. So the next is ink solution.
First, for Coolmate as replace for actual ink, we hope to explain how to use our actual components for cool replacement for others. For example, the heavy metals are painting the mixed for cool make it black. So we have to replace it with something more natural. For example, something which could come from the nature. In this case, we have the suit. The suit is the main component. It's formed by irregular networks of carbon atoms similar to graphite, but with a defined constant structure. And the next, it's animal binder. The gelatin is a protein composed of log chains of amino acids made of carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. And then we have the water, which using with the right heat, we are going to mix it up for make a base, which will work like the kind of base we're looking for. We have the elaboration process. The sumi ink manufacturing begins with the suit production. This suit production begins with the colza oil burning. Burning this colza oil will make the enox suit for could make illegal painting for our ink. Then we have the animal glue that we are going to mix it with the heat water for could make something like a kind of phase where we are going to put the soup already manufactured for could make a paste the one it got sick we're going to use like ink. And for last we have to explain the conclusion.
How we already have seen, the this ink is currently a very good alternative for a healthy solution and a change for the industrial ink that hits the environment are toxic for us as well. How did we achieve it? We have changed the toxic components. We have replacing them with more natural 100% natural materials, and we also avoided the process of production that produces we have avoided the production that avoids the CO2 emissions that helps us to be healthier, not only in the production, if not in the materials we use and how we do it. That's how we achieve it to make ink 100% healthy for the environment. And also, the ink actually has a very good quality because that can lead thousands of years to disappear. So it's a very good alternative to our society to change the typical or conventional inks for a healthier solution for our environment that doesn't make too much damage to our environment. So that's why we have changed it, because it's also a very good quality option, 100% natural, and also it's handmade. So these 3 points are perfect to say that this ink it's currently a very option for a healthy solution and a good quality ink change. And I was Bryan, the captain of the team.
And I was Sergio.
And I was Luis.
Thanks for watching.